We've all felt it, that crackle when you stand up after sitting for a few hours, that deep stiffness in your lower back that makes you feel 20 years older than you actually are. Modern life, the desks, the phones, the stress is literally aging our bodies faster than nature intended. But you don't need a time machine to reverse that damage. You just need to trigger your body's natural biomechanics. In this video, I'm going to show you 6 yoga biohacks to lubricate your joints, rebuild your foundation, and quite literally slow down the clock. Let's start with the first yoga biohack, the spinal lubricator. Most people think aging starts in the muscles. It doesn't. It starts in the central command of your body, your spine. Years of tech neck and slumping over keyboards physically compress and dehydrate your spinal discs. You are essentially rusting from the inside out. To fix this, we need to pump synovial fluid back into those joints. It's like putting oil on a rusty hinge. We do this through cat-cow. Moving one vertebrae at a time, you are actively rehydrating your spine. Don't just move your back. Imagine moving one single vertebrae at a time, starting from the tailbone and ending at the crown of your head. Now, a flexible spine won't help you if your internal engine is flatlining. As we age, we lose muscle mass and our circulation gets sluggish. So let's look at the second yoga biohack, the metabolic engine. That sluggish circulation is what gives you that heavy feeling in your limbs. We need to flip gravity on its head to decompress the lower back and flush the brain with fresh, oxygenated blood. We start in downward dog to lengthen the posterior chain. But to really fire up your metabolism and build the functional core strength that protects your back, we add a dynamic twist. From down dog, shift forward into high plank. Flowing between these two builds internal heat and awakens your metabolic engine. Move slow and steady and take deep, full breaths throughout the movement. This yoga posture and movement builds incredible heat. But if your daily posture is still trapped in a permanent slouch, you're still suffocating your cells. Here is how we fix that oxygen debt. The third yoga biohack is the back protector and shoulder opener. Look at anyone over 80. The first visible sign of aging isn't wrinkles, it's a slouch. A closed chest restricts your lung capacity. Less oxygen means less cellular energy. Your body is physically adapting to a shrinking world. We have to pull those shoulders back and strengthen the extensor muscles along your spine. Cobra pose is one of the best postures to open the shoulders, rib cage, and chest. Then we transition into the dynamic locust pose. As you inhale, lift your chest and legs, and as you exhale, lower them slightly. These are the exact muscles that will keep you standing tall and proud well into your 80s. If you're already feeling your posture shift just watching this, hit that like button and check out the link below to get my free longevity blueprint. Share this with someone else who's stuck at a desk all day. Now, protecting your back and opening your shoulders is crucial, but aging starts from the ground up. If you lose your foundation, you lose your mobility. This brings us to the yoga biohack number 4, the power foundation. Sitting all day severely shortens your psoas, your deep hip flexors. When these get tight, they pull directly on your lower back, making simply walking down the street feel like a chore. To reverse this, we use Warrior 1. This provides a deep, targeted stretch to those hip flexors while simultaneously strengthening the lower body and building bone density in your legs. It is the ultimate posture of lower body strength, length, and stability. Now, you can add some movements in this pose by bending and straightening the back leg. Remember to move slowly and breathe deeply. Now, although Warrior One opens the front of the hips and strengthens the legs, there is an emotional junk drawer deep inside the hip socket that is quietly ruining your knees and back. So, moving onto the yoga biohack number 5, let me introduce you to the ultimate hip opener. We store a massive amount of physical stress and cortisol deep in our hip rotators. This tension misaligns your knees and creates a chain reaction of pain that shoots up and down your body as you age. We need a deep tissue release, and the holy grail for this is pigeon pose. It's important to know your edge and not force or go into any pain in this pose. Modify as needed. Pigeon pose flushes out those trapped stress hormones and restores the fluid range of motion that you had when you were a kid. Now, releasing the hips feels amazing, but there is one final piece to the anti-aging puzzle, and it happens entirely inside your brain. This brings us to the sixth and the final yoga biohack, the brain and side body reset. Balance is often the very first thing to decline when we get older. Our proprioception, our brain sense of where our body is in space, dulls over time, which is what leads to falls and injuries. Tree pose forces your brain to aggressively fire off new neural pathways just to keep you upright. And once you're steady in the tree pose, add a lateral stretch. Reaching over opens the intercostal muscles between your ribs, allowing for deeper, life-extending breaths while challenging your nervous system to the max. You now have the 6 biomechanical movements you need to lubricate your joints, rebuild your strength, and reverse the clock. Aging is inevitable, but decay is an option that you don't have to choose. But knowing these 6 postures is only half of the battle. Doing them once in a while won't undo decades of sitting. You need to know how to link them together into a daily sequence that flows seamlessly so you can actually stick with it. Now, if you want a similar and more invigorating protocol to enhance your focus, strength, and vitality, check out my longevity blueprint that you can do regularly with just 10 minutes a day. The link is in the description below. Peace and namaste.